Dan Jones. I'm the faculty president for the School of Public and International Affairs at the University of Pittsburgh. It's a privilege to be here as we celebrate this milestone with our graduates. Let's begin the 2026 commencement ceremony. Please be seated. It's my pleasure to now introduce the Dean of the School of Public and International Affairs, Dr. Carissa Slaughterback.
Families, friends, faculty, staff, and especially our students, welcome to the annual commencement celebration of the University of Pittsburgh School of Public and International Affairs. Good afternoon to each of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good afternoon. We are really grateful to those who are joining us both online as well as in person here in Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for being here as we celebrate our students and honor their exceptional achievements. Most importantly, thank you to our students for being here with us, and my sincere congratulations to you on your accomplishments. We have been privileged to have you in our SPIA and Pitt community, and we are grateful that you chose to join us at the University of Pittsburgh, that you brought your deep motivation to build your knowledge and your skills, that you shared your own insights and unique experiences with our school community, and especially for bringing your drive to change the world. You asked us tough questions, you challenged each other, and you truly leave this place even better than you found it. As students, I know you came here because you want to have not only careers, but also lives that are about impact and about service. And while each of you will certainly leave here today with a degree and with new knowledge and valuable skills, I hope that you are also leaving with an even deeper motivation for service and commitment to changing the world. Wherever you land next, it has been our true privilege to play a part in your journey. And trust me when I say that we will be watching closely as you head out into the world, because you've already shown us in so many ways what you are capable of. We'll be ready to celebrate your successes and all of the positive impact that you create. The fields of public and international affairs are always changing, but I suspect that we can all agree that the past couple of years have seen disruption in policy, practice, and so much more, and whether in our backyard in Pittsburgh or around the world. But I have seen you as students, not to mention our staff and our faculty and our alumni, meet this moment with a drive to learn, to reflect on our assumptions, and to debate on issues and values that we hold dear, and also to advocate. And what I have also seen time and time again is your curiosity. You have demonstrated a commitment to seeking to understand not just issues, but the perspectives of others. In our world divided across politics, geography, and so much more, I know that you bring a capacity and an orientation toward connecting across difference that will serve you and really serve all of us well. Our students do extraordinary work in the classroom to complete their degrees, and I have also seen you as active members of our community, diving in to do the work that is needed to serve others and creating positive impacts in our school, our university, and the world around us. I have seen you doing work on the most current issues facing our communities with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development and the Congress of Neighboring Communities here in Pittsburgh. I have seen you offering your insight to the United Nations Development Program on gender equality and supporting waste pickers and informal recyclers in Haiti through efforts with the Work NGO. I have seen you at the National Cyberforensics and Training Alliance, sharing your work on cybersecurity and AI threats, and working with the Allegheny Family Network and Macedonia Family and Community Enrichment Center on enhancing family and human service programs. I have seen you leading and pushing for change, supporting fellow students by advocating for a new wellness room, and ways that we can continue in our school to foster an even more welcoming and inclusive environment. I have seen you leaders in our school, in our university, in our research centers, in our working groups, on the student cabinet, and in the graduate and professional student government, and so much more. Last, I have also seen you caring for and supporting each other, and it has been absolutely wonderful in the time that you've been here to see your relationships with each other grow and deepen while you've spent time with us at SPIA. You absolutely take these with you when you leave, and they are just as important as all of the knowledge and skills that you have built up in your time with us. I hope that you already feel that you are part of something bigger, a community of scholars and of practitioners who have passed through this school and are sure to shape the organizations that you'll work in, the communities where you'll live, and the world beyond. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Luke Condra, Associate Dean and Associate Professor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, colleagues. It's now my honor to announce the recipients of our Endowed Awards with special interest. First, the Tarakna Das Foundation Award for outstanding papers on a subject relating to Asia to Zhang Pan and Zuija Yuan for their paper, Restoring Routine Immunization Coverage for Children in Butoa County, an action plan based on the post-disaster reconstruction model in 2008. Okay, here. If you're here, do come as I announce your name and you can grab your award up front. The next is the Gloria Fitzgibbons Memorial Award for Scholastic Achievement and Potential for Leadership in Areas Related to Public Administration or Planning to Rachel Liana Means. Next is the Kevin Morrison Memorial Award for the most outstanding student in statistics, given to Morgan Bryson. And now for the David Weller Award for an outstanding student in the field of information systems to Grace O'Malley. And finally, the Simon Reich Human Security Writing Award for the best research or policy paper on a human security topic to Paula Ortiz Vargas for her paper Assessing the Efficacy of Institutional Frameworks and Policy in Addressing Child, Early, and Forced Marriage and Unions in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kangdra, and congratulations to each of our student winners. I am now so pleased to introduce our 2026 Commencement student speaker, Jill Stempel. Jill was selected by our Commencement committee to speak to you today at our celebration. Jill Stempel holds a BA from Franklin and Marshall College and graduates today with a Master of Public Policy and Management. She pursued her MPPM, in her words, very part-time, while serving in various roles at the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Jill is currently appointed as the Bureau Director for Policy, Planning, and Program Development in the DHS Office of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. In this role, she provides executive leadership for Pennsylvania's behavioral health Medicaid program, manages federal grant funding, develops regulations for mental health provider licensing, oversees county mental health programs, and develops mental health services. Jill worked her way up through DHS, starting as an income maintenance caseworker, determining eligibility for Medicaid and SNAP, and has held a variety of roles, including grant manager, section chief of planning, and executive policy specialist. She is proud to bring lived experience to her work alongside her depth of professional experience and education. Jill, I hope you'll join us on the stage.
Good afternoon, faculty, friends, family, and of course, our graduates. It is such a privilege to be here, marking the end of our time at SPIA and celebrating the new journeys we're about to embark on. Some of us continuing in our careers and others entering public service for the first time. All of us equipped with many new tools. Having taken the very part-time path through the MPPM program while working in government, I've had the interesting opportunity to learn about how our public system should function, while also seeing our public system strain under immense changes and attacks. It's been a jarring contrast to spend hours in the classroom learning how to conduct a rigorous program evaluation to ensure that taxpayer dollars are being well spent, while professionally seeing grants cut on little more than a whim and 24 hours notice. It's enough to maybe make some folks not want to go into public service anymore. But lest this become a very depressing graduation speech, I hope that I can leave you with a daily touch point that has carried me through years of public service and my long hours at SPIA, and that is to leave the system better than you found it. Some of you may walk into strong systems and have the amazing opportunity to use what you learned here at SPIA to make them truly exceptional. I cannot wait to celebrate those successes. Others of us will be stepping into systems that are strained, underfunded, distrusted, and exhausted. And in those spaces, success may be harder to recognize. Rather than developing cutting-edge programs, your role might look like updating regulations 40 years out of date to address AI instead of floppy disks. And perhaps I'm biased, since that's my daily reality, but this is also success. It is also a worthy use of your skills and a benefit to your community. Despite all of the challenges facing public administration today, I am hopeful. Not because the problems are small, they are not, but neither is our collective potential. And if every person graduating today commits to leaving their corner of the system just a little bit better than they found it, a little bit more efficient, more equitable, more evidence-based, more humane, that impact will be exponential. Congratulations, graduates. The system is waiting for us, for you and your talents. Please leave it better than you found it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jill, for your comments and your inspiring leadership in our school, as well as your advocacy, your professionalism, and your engagement that I know extends well beyond SPIA. I am delighted now to introduce our next group of award winners. Each year, we grant the Graduate Program Awards to a top graduate in each of our master's programs. These students are nominated and selected by our SPIA faculty. The Master of International Development Program Award for the most distinguished record among graduates of the International Development Program in terms of academic achievement and service to the school is awarded to Paula Ortiz Vargas. The Master of Public Administration Program Award for the most distinguished record among graduates of the Public Administration Program in terms of academic achievement and service to the school this year is awarded to David Bilger. The Master of Public and International Affairs Program Award for the most distinguished record among graduates of the Public and International Affairs Program in terms of academic achievement and service to the school goes to Benjamin Gunter. And last but not least, the Master of Public Policy and Management Program Award for the most distinguished record among graduates of the Public Policy and Management Program in terms of academic achievement and service to the school goes to Jill Stempel. Congratulations again to our program award winners. I am now so honored to introduce our distinguished commencement speaker. Matt Murray is the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Islands in the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs. He has spent nearly 3 decades at the State Department, building a career at the intersection of diplomacy, economic strategy, and global security. In his current role, he helps guide U.S. policy and partnerships across a region that is central to global stability, economic growth, and international cooperation. Previously, Matt served as the U.S. Senior Official for Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, from 2022 to 2025. During that time, he led U.S. engagement in one of the world's most important economic forums, coordinating policy across 21 member economies and advancing priorities tied to trade, growth, and regional collaboration. In recognition of his leadership, he was nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate to hold the rank of ambassador. A member of the Senior Foreign Service, his career reflects a sustained commitment to public service at the highest levels. He has held senior leadership roles across the State Department and beyond, including Deputy Assistant Secretary for Trade Policy and Negotiations, and Director of the 24/7 Watch in the Bureau of Intelligence and Research. His overseas assignment including serving as the Economic Minister Counselor at the U.S. Embassy in Beijing, Economic Counselor at the U.S. Embassy in Canberra, and Political and Economic Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Dar es Salaam, among others. He also brings experience from the academic and national security space, having served as the Deputy Commandant of the Eisenhower School for National Security and Resource Strategy at the National Defense University, where he helped shape the next generation of national security leaders. Matt earned his Master of Public and International Affairs from the University of Pittsburgh School of Public and International Affairs, as well as degrees from the U.S. Army War College and Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ambassador Murray.
Thank you so much, Dean Slaughterback, for the very kind introduction and for the invitation to speak today. I'm very honored to be here. And I love the vantage point from up here on the stage. There's a lot of smiles out there, students smiling, parents smiling. Up here we have faculty smiling. So there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of energy. And it's both because of the perseverance and the effort that it took to get you to this point, and because of the adventure that lies ahead as soon as you leave here. I'm sure there are many ways in which a SPIA education has changed since my time here. One thing that has not changed, however, is the difficulty of this program. It requires a lot of you. It requires a big commitment, and you did it, so congrats. There's another important element that remains the same, and it's the main point that I want to share with you today. It's that you're on the precipice of something even more exciting, a life of public service. I find myself deeply envious of each of you, because if I could go back to my commencement here, and the beginning of what I now know would have been an amazing opportunity that has been the career that I've served in public service, then I would trade places with you in a heartbeat. So whether you'll work in government, or at a nonprofit, or in education, or for a think tank, or in social impact investment, or as an advocate for mental health, or wherever you land, I'm excited about the contributions you're going to make to your countries and communities. In the few minutes I have this afternoon, I'd therefore like to share 3 lessons that I first learned here at the School of Public and International Affairs. These lessons have served me well and been foundational in my own public service career. I hope they also will resonate with many of you, the graduates, and may even serve as positive guideposts for your careers in public service. First, a life in public service is about working together to solve complex problems. One of the things I loved most about my time at Pitt School of Public and International Affairs was the opportunity to build relationships, engaging in the classroom, hanging out at happy hour, preparing for an exam together, playing pickup soccer on the lawn, or taking advantage of everything Pittsburgh has to offer. And every time I return to campus or go to one of the alumni happy hour events in Washington, D.C., I can see that SPIA still very much has building relationships in the school's DNA. One of the things that I did not necessarily love about my time here was the frequency with which the faculty assigned group projects. Because it was during those group projects when many of these relationships were severely tested, as we tried our best to collaborate to solve problems. I mean, why couldn't we just do this assignment on our own? Some professors seem to like to assign group projects every week. And I remember thinking on my graduation day, thank goodness I don't have to do any more group projects. Well, if you feel the same way today, graduates, I'm afraid I have some very bad news for you. Because it turns out public service is an endless series of group projects. Because public service is about working together to solve complex problems. And you can't solve those problems on your own. The communities you serve will need you to bring the skills that you've learned here teamwork, cross-cultural communication, policy analysis, and so many others, and apply them to solve real-world problems. I've learned in my career that the most consequential work is rarely a solo effort, but more often is the result of team building, or a task force, or stakeholder engagement. As one treasured friend of mine at the State Department would have said, diplomacy is a team sport. So make it your priority, graduates, to guarantee the success of every group project. Be a leader. Push the limits of what's possible to achieve together, because a life in public service is about working together to solve complex problems. Second, a life in public service is a journey, not a destination. As I'm sure was the case with many of you, as soon as I arrived at SPIA, I tried to map out everything I'd need to do to graduate, to get to where you are right now. It's tempting to focus simply on the requirements needed to reach the destination. For school, it's the number of credits, the core classes, the specializations, research, capstone projects, etc. But in the second half of my program, I learned SPIA had some nice surprises in store for me. I worked with professors who I had not yet met. I traveled to Indonesia on a research grant, which ended up being life-changing. The focus of my studies shifted. It would have been impossible at some arbitrary midpoint to have been able to foresee the opportunities ahead. A career in public service similarly offers unique opportunities and experiences that you can't anticipate. Unlike some other careers, you can't sit down with a 30-year calendar and have a reasonable expectation of where you'll be living, what you'll be doing, or who you'll be helping. The rewards of a public service career are in the unexpected moments, those times when you will be able to see firsthand the impact of your work and know people's lives are better because of it. For myself, I never could have imagined the journey on which I would embark after I walked out those doors. The opportunity I've had to be a U.S. diplomat, to live in and travel to foreign countries, to experience other cultures, to serve others, and to represent the United States. And I know as SPIA graduates, you're ready to write your own authentic version of that story. Make sure you enjoy the ride and take it all in. Invest in your communities, invest in your countries, invest in the future. You're right at the beginning of an adventure. A Chinese proverb says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you've taken a big step here at Pitt's School of Public and International Affairs. Because a life in public service is a journey, not a destination. And third, a life in public service is about contributing to something bigger than yourself. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to use a master's degree in public and international affairs when I arrived on campus, but I was impressed immediately with the people I met here and their commitment to making a positive impact in the world around them. I was in awe of classmates like your speaker, who before ever arriving at Pitt already had served in national, state, or local government, or worked at an NGO, or volunteered for a development organization like the Peace Corps. I know your generation of SPIA students is no exception, because graduate students and undergrads alike, you had impressive credentials and experiences before you ever took a course here. And now you're even more prepared for what lies ahead, as I was, thanks to your talented professors, who have committed their own lives to public service as practitioners, researchers, and of course teachers. And thanks to your own internships, research, individual immersive experiences, and a lot of hard work. Because public service is about contributing to something bigger than yourself. It is because of this truth that public service is not for the faint of heart. No one launches a career in public service to make the most money, or score the corner office, or chase a certain title. No, you came here to pursue a higher calling. You're wired differently. You committed to something bigger. And our world needs you now more than ever before. You're ready now to go out to feed the poor, empower the underserved, rebuild and repair our cities, deter threats to global security, and protect our environment, as well as so many other worthwhile pursuits. Your lives in public service will make our world a more secure and more prosperous place. Regardless of where my career at the United States Department of State has taken me, no matter the diplomatic assignment, whether focused on promoting economic growth, advancing human rights, or protecting national security, I always have known my own name is far less important than who I represent. And I'm reminded every time the placard in front of me in a meeting simply reads, United States. Because a life in public service is about something bigger than yourself. In closing, I recall my own excitement on my SPIA commencement day. One of my favorite memories was being able to share it with my parents, especially my dad. See, my dad grew up not far from here in Pennsylvania coal country before moving to Maryland as a teenager. He never had much money, and I think he figured a master's degree was always beyond his reach, and he certainly believed that a career at the State Department would be. So I could tell that being with me at the University of Pittsburgh when I earned my master's degree was a special full circle moment for him, and I knew he was proud of me. Graduates, your family and friends are proud of you too, so make sure you enjoy this moment with them. My dad was a man of few words, and he didn't offer much guidance on what I should study or the career I should pursue. But he would regularly tell me in his own way to get an education and then go make a difference. So today, it's a tremendous honor for me to stand here before you to close with this final encouragement. You have been educated here at the University of Pittsburgh School of Public and International Affairs. Now go make a difference.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Murray. You and your work are absolutely inspiring, and your comments are really a perfect message for our students on this important day of celebrating all that's been accomplished, and especially in imagining all that is ahead. It's now time to present our graduation candidates. We'll begin with our Master of International Development candidates. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Lisa Alfredson, Director of the MID program. She will be followed by Dr. Gary Hollabaugh, Director of the MPA program, Dr. Luke Condra, MPIA faculty, presenting the MPIA and MPPM candidates, and Dr. Dan Jones, Director of our PhD program. Dr. Alfredson.
Each candidate will come to the stage as their name is called. Candidates also earning a certificate from the School of Public and International Affairs will be acknowledged. Will the degree candidates for the Master of International Development please rise and enter the stage as your name is called? Rayan Khalid Asadi. Hazel Veronica Flores Davila. Jacob Francis. Matthew Hickey, also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Diana Maina. Mateus Martins. Also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Amaya Daisy Mebane. Samantha Marie Miner, also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Jacqueline Lee Nichols. Alexis O'Donnell, also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Paula Ortiz Vargas, also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Catherine Ann Wegman, also earning the Global Sustainable Development Certificate. Anne Elizabeth Wanuk. Congratulations to the MID candidates.
Congratulations again. Will the degree candidates for the Master of Public Administration please rise and enter the stage as your name is called? David Bilger. Morgan Bryson. Esme DeCourty. Calvin Javolski. Devin Giroux. Allison Marie Kappert. Eden Lambright. Noah Michael Manalo. Clayton Manley. Ian Mayer. Haley Jean McLean. Rachel Leanna Means. Jackson Neofis. Zheng Pan. Joseph Popovich. Yoni Prus. Aiden Semenko. Kennedy Jarek Short. Tinto Thalanikara Devasi. Lauren Elise Thomas. Brendan Garrett Wissinger. Congratulations again.
Will the degree candidates for the Master of Public and International Affairs please rise and enter the stage as your name is called? Jalen Marie Adams. Loveland Barrera. Maria Teresa Carzan. Kyle Chris. Elena De Horatius. Soba Dione. James Donley. Kurt Engelhart. Tess England. Madeline France. Ben Gunter. Celeste Hall. Harry Charles Harkins. Elena Claire Hopkins. Aaron Hutchison. Nathan Alexander Cassis. Samantha Kessner. Xingyue Sarah King. Abrorbek Kosimov. Thomas Levitt. Alexa Lacrone. Dominic Thomas Lee. Ryan Scott Lindner. Charlene J. Loera. Joel Montgomery Loomis. Corinne Marie McCloskey. Valencia Medina. Mariam Mustafa Moaz. Grace O'Malley. Disha Patel. Christina Rajakovic. Milena Rylet. Gabriela Marino dos Santos. Naira Sethi. Hannah Christine Shiflett. Hendy Octaviona Siahan. Alina Catherine Snupkowski. Candace Ruth Taylor. Andrew William Lockwood Thompson. Joshua Victor. Nicholas J. Walters. Congratulations again to the MPIA graduates. Will the degree candidates for the Master of Public Policy and Management please rise and enter the stage as your name is called? Venkat Chobi. Deanne Marissa Edmond. Caitlin Fagor. Barry Morchauer Guzikowski. Sung Mi Lim. Brooke McAvoy. Caitlin Mara Miller. Kelly Protho. Meredith Stafford Chapman. Jill Stemple. Ashley Corey Urlakis. Michelle Elizabeth Utz-Kiley. Congratulations again to the MPPM graduates.
I'm now very happy to announce the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree in Public and International Affairs, and their chairs as well. So, PhD, please rise and come to the stage as your name is called. First, we have Dr. Michaela Cushing Daniels, whose dissertation is Go Big and Go Home, Mobilizing National Social Policy Infrastructure to Support Justice-Involved Populations, who's being hooded by me. Dr. Ashley Kaur. Ashley is being hooded by Dr. Sarah Lenardi. Her dissertation was Safe Enough to Try Gen AI, Microethical and Socio-Technical Infrastructure for Translating Responsible Generative AI into Practice. And Dr. Diana Mirikonovich, who will be hooded by Dr. Luke Kondra. Her dissertation, yeah, we can. Her dissertation is Personal Cross-Ethnic Networks and Ties in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Israel, Structure, Meaning, and Relational Orientation. Congratulations.
My sincere congratulations to our graduating students. Let's give them another hand. Graduates, What you have learned in your time with us and the experiences that you brought with you as well have prepared you well for the work ahead. The work that we do in our fields of public and international affairs has always been hard, and it's ever changing. And I know that for you, that is precisely what gives you the motivation to take on these challenges and do this important work. You came here because you believe in what is possible in a world that has greater opportunity, that is more secure, that is fair, and is equitable. The landscape that you will enter is surely shifting, and the pathways for impact are absolutely changing. But you move into this dynamic landscape with the deepest belief in service. Again, as our wonderful speaker shared, service as something that is bigger than yourself. You have drive, you have valuable knowledge, and an adaptable and durable set of skills to drive change wherever you go first, and certainly in a long career committed to work that is needed, that is true to values and what is in your hearts. To our graduates, please stand as you are able, and I present you the graduates of the School of Public and International Affairs. Congratulations again to our graduates. If you don't mind, please be seated, and we have just a couple more comments, but I want to thank all of you, to all of our guests who are joining us today. Thank you for your support of these amazing students. I want to thank our staff who've done such a wonderful work supporting students and supporting this event today, as well as to our faculty, many of whom you see on the stage. Thank you to everyone who is here. Congratulations again to our graduates. And I am pleased to invite Dr. Dan Jones to close our ceremony.
This concludes the 2026 commencement ceremony. Please remain seated as the recessional begins, and members of the stage party will follow me as I exit. Congratulations again, graduates.